Yeah, Israel, Abraham, Torah.
In Arabic they say Rahma. Rahma means mercy.
Yeah, and you have Ramadan.
Yeah.
That comes from Rama. The Brahmins in the Hindu caste is the highest caste. You have Hiram, the builder of Solomon's temple, which is the ram. Of course, as I said before, the claustrum is where Hiram, the builder of Solomon's temple, lives. And if you look at the word Hiram, it means high-born. This is why the Hindu people like to use Rama in their boys' names. Rishi, Raja. You have a look at words like... let me have a look.
Because you've even got in like some of the mantras like what we use sometimes in Kundalini Yoga, Rama Dasa,
Rapata, Amin,
Rapata,
Asa, Haru,
look at the word. Look at the word rabbi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, another one.
What's a rabbi telling you? Well, he's teaching you about Ra. That's it. The Jews have only one teaching, and that is the teaching of Ra, because they are rabbis teaching about Ra. The president of Egypt, down to this day, is called Rais, Ra-Isis.
Okay.
Yeah, Rais.
Wow.
And so they're still telling you. They're telling you that Ra is still there, and Isis, as in Israel. And I've proven what Israel is. Israel is the circle, the radius, and the dot in the middle of the circle. So if you get a circle and you put a dot in the middle, that is the symbol of the sun in astrology. But if you join from the circle to the perimeter, from the dot in the middle of the circle, and if you draw a line from the dot in the middle of the circle to the perimeter of a circle, you have a radius, and that's just the word Ra, God, Radio, Radius. and so there is, Isis is the dot in the middle, the still point of light, and then Ra is the radius, and L is the circle. You know, so it's in our science. Look at the word abracadabra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Abraham, I've already mentioned that. Sarah. Have a look at the top chakra. What's your top chakra called? Sahasrara. Yeah. Mount Ararat. It has 2 Ra's in it. And the boat, or the bark of Noah, landed on Mount Ararat in the month of Aries, the ram, on the 17th Nisan.
And quite a few things happened on that 17 Nisan as well. Isn't that right, Santa?
Exactly. Yeah. The 17th of Nisan is when Jesus resurrects, Noah's boat lands on Ararat, Jericho falls, and they blow the ram's horns, and then they rescue Rahab. This is funny. It's so funny. What else happens on Nisan 17? The children of Israel come out of Egypt. 430 years earlier, they go down to Egypt.
The walls of Jericho was another one, was it?
Yeah, the walls of Jericho fall on Nisan 17. Esther saves the Jews on Purim on Nisan 17. The festival is called the Festival of First Fruits, which is called Bikram in the Jewish language, Nisan 17. All the action happens on one day. There's something going on here? Yeah. You know what it is? It's the sun crossing over the equinox, that beautiful equal day. And that day has always been celebrated everywhere you go on this planet. And the Jews are no exception.
Wow.
And by the way, this...
interconnection for true.
Yeah, and the Son of God. I mean, S-U-N, S-O-N, the Son of Righteousness. When it says that in the Bible, it actually says S-U-N instead of S-O-N. So sometimes it says S-U-N, and sometimes it says S-O-N, and that's what I've noticed quite a lot in the Bible as well.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to the very last chapter of the Old Testament, Malachi, and I'm going to read that right now. It's spelled S-U-N, and it says Malachi 4:2, which is virtually the fourth last verse in the Old Testament. Easy to find, very easy to find. It says, "And to you who are in fear of my name, the Son of Righteousness, S-U-N, will certainly shine forth with healing in its wings."
That's right.
That's the Egyptian sun disk with the two wings. Hallelujah. The Jews are nothing but Ra worshippers, and so are the Christians.
Yeah.
And there will be no argument, there will be no debate. It's proven, I've proven it, and I'm not the only one. There's Gerald Massey, there's Dupuis, Volney, Thomas Paine proved it.
Yeah.
Every single enlightened person has proven it.
That's right.
It's only the unenlightened that still don't know it, unfortunately.
The ignorant.
Very sad for them.
Yeah.
Very sad. Very, very sad for them. Look at the word pyramid. It has Ra.
In it, yeah.
It has man in it. I can go on. I mean, look at the word rainbow. It starts with Ra, and it finishes with the word bow, which is another word for boat.
Yeah.
Bark. A bow. So you have Ra's bow. In Spanish, it's arco iris, which is another word for the arc or the bark of Osiris. In Italian, it's arcobaleno, or the bark of Baal. There you go.
Yeah. Did you want to ask something, Rosalind?
He answered it for me.
Okay. Wow.
And just look at all the other words like Abraxas, Serapis, Scarab, Uranus, vibration, charity, Zechariah, paradise. Even the word Africa has Ra in it.
Yeah,
only it's spelt with a R-I. Africa.
Africa, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which basically means the opening of Ra. You know, Africa in Latin. You know, Balarama. How's that one? Balarama in the Hindu. Wow, I can go on and on. Look at the words Rockefeller and Rothschild. Why do they both end in Ro? Because, well, in Egyptian, the chief banker to the pharaoh was called Ra Kafar.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Rockefeller empire,
God.
it's just a banking criminal empire that steals your money.
Yeah.
Rockefeller. Nice.
Yeah, what about the rapture?
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the word radiate, rocket, radar, ramp, root? These, and look at the word rake. And have you seen those rakes that are in a delta shape that look like they are radiating from one point? I mean, you know, and even in Italian, the word for rake is rastrello, which is R-A.
And then you got Rasta, innit?
Oh yeah, Rastafarians.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Yeah. Because that actually, I think it means Godhead as well. Rastafari.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the word arrow. It's in the word branch. It's in the word arm. Arm is an anagram for ram, which is because when you stretch out your arms, you are radiating Ra. So your arm is a branch of Ra. I've shown all these words, and there's many, many more.
There's just loads, because I'm like thinking of like some in my head right now. So.
Wow, I wonder if anyone's got any questions for Santo.
Yes.
We have a young lady in the studio called Nisha. Would you like to ask Santo, a question?
Thanks, Santos.
So
You're
she
right.
just puts the mic in her face.
I don't know if this has been covered, but now that the 21st of the 12th is a significant date, what's your idea and preparation for what's to come? Obviously we're aware that it's like a new change of energy and raise of frequency. So what would your advice be for fellow listeners out there to prepare for what's to come?
I didn't hear that very well.
Okay.
That was very...
Basically,
blurry.
she said, for you it's tomorrow, for us it's in 2 days, with the 21st coming up. What do you think people should do to prepare with all this new energy?
Yeah. Oh, well, look, I'm just going to breathe.
Breathe.
Yeah. know that you are your breath. Just breathe. And if there is a sudden rush of,
energy,
conscious vibration, just breathe. Breathe deeply, and there is never ever anything to worry about. I mean, we are being birthed. We're going to be birthed into a new way, and you can liken it to a baby coming out of the womb of the mother. The baby doesn't prepare anything. The baby just waits, and then all of a sudden, bang, it's breathing. It comes out of the water element in the womb, and then enters the air element, of the air, and it starts breathing. So,
just breathe.
So you go from water to air. So we are going from the Piscean water to the air of Aquarius. Same thing. It's exactly this. In fact, Pisces is the symbol. You look at the glyph for Pisces, and it's the Veshika Pisces.
Yeah.
The Veshika.
The Veshika pieces. Yeah.
The womb.
Yeah.
We are coming out of the womb.
Yeah.
We are being born into the waters of Aquarius to be baptized in the Holy Spirit.
And the symbol of the Aquarian is the water bearer, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you see how beautiful this science is? That it is just beautifully exquisite.
Yeah.
And these controllers would want nothing more than to put... They have gone after astrology more than anything else that they have ever attacked. This is the one. This is the one.
That's right. If anybody has any questions for Santo, what's the Skype? Rasdenblue?
Yeah, the Skype is Positive Entertainment, so it's POSITIV Entertainment. I'm not going to spell entertainment. Hopefully you lot can figure it out.
No, spell it for them. What's wrong with you?
ENTERTAINMENT.
Yeah.
So basically, it's Positive Entertainment, but drop one of the E's in between, and there you go. So yeah.
So, Santo, but what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break, because we usually take a short break in between, whether someone wants to go for, their natural...
when nature calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd like to take a nice music break for about 5 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
We'll come back and hopefully we'll get some questions too, yeah? Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah? So I'll cut you off now and then recall you once we come back in, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, brilliant, son. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, I hope people are tuning in, listening up, and activating. Innit?
Yeah. Nature calls anyway.
Nature calls.
Yeah.
Shall we
Put
play a
song
tune?
on. Yeah, please put a song on.
What shall we play? Be quick. Okay, I've done it.
Okay.
Too late.
fires that really devastated this community happened between late 1997 and 1999. In that period of time, they probably had at least 500 or 600 fires down here, and I lived through that. When there was a fire, I would make one call, and it would ring all the way around the community. Is it you? Are you all right? Whatever. And then it would come back to my house. We had one of the most beautiful communities when I moved here that you can imagine.
Condos were out on my own turf. For what it's worth, soul got left in the earth. On a search, I stood in front of Compton where the Hudson builder spoke first and said, I was here. The old bricks all over downtown, the Sears with the Roebuck attachment. Purple gang used to move to your block like a mafia pageant. Move around in my town, the spit is talk. And if you leave, forget us and try to come back, I hope you turn into a pillar of salt. Jack him and cracking the concrete. That's a lost and forgotten piece of the deep. We'll never see in the book of paper a place with a tent casino, strip mall, liquor store, another stadium, doubling as a palladium eatery. D speaks to me. I watch yesterday get swept away beneath a pile of debris. Committees picking from a lottery for the hottest riverfront property. Sign over your deed, shocking to see it's good from people mover to people mover. Let the people choose a better way. They set up shop. It's better wait. Landmarks coming through like a John with a pro. Let it straight and they run up on the traffic consumption. So I look back, see my city under construction. I look back, see my city under construction. Locust, focus. Focus. Locust approaches.
Locusts and buzzers circle and hover above the abandoned houses, shattered windows with the crooked shutter. Across the street, construct a cookie cutter condominium. Line of Woodward, it's the prime meridian. You divide the city, and in the hood, wonder why you pay 2 times the premium. They've been redlining the dark skin. Owners of homes where they loan with a shark fin. Arson of property, probably for their insurance policy. It's a prophecy that's self-fulfilling. They claim to cure us of poverty, but it's serving removal of residents for urban renewal. The reverend is the realtor here to save and heal you. They even buy ugly houses, and it's memorabilia of a myth of a city that's a mystery. Auto industry's widow. On the auction floor, they start to bid low on houses with hanging gutters and peeling shingles. Purchased at a nervous pace and a cadence. I heard a wrecking ball hit a building that's mistaken for vacant. A sleeping city awakened by bulldozers, and the wool pulled over our eyes. It comes as no surprise. Why don't rent some more? From the French to Ford to the Illiches, trying to pillage a village and milk it for all that it's worth. While they killing us, but we still got resilience against the locusts.
Trying to suffocate my city and try to
choke us.
Ravaging the crop, making the situation
hopeless.
We staying
focused.
Never let the
locust approaches.
Never let the
locust approaches.
Never let the
locust approaches.
Welcome back to the show. That was
the Innervibe Show on Essence Radio. This is Yak Alexander.
Cecil.
That's what we said, isn't it? That's what we said. Yes, that was Invincible featuring Finale. Locust. Never let the locust approach us.
Yes.
Never let the parasites approach us.
Yes.
The psychopaths.
Yes.
That's how we deal in it. You get me? Yeah. So we got Santos Bonacci. All the way down from Melbourne in Australia.
Yeah, bless
we
it.
woke him up
so
early in the morning.
to come on the show.
Yeah.
But,
and what a show it's been, yet again. Yeah.
I hope everyone's enjoying it, just to let people know, because I know, do you know what, like, we'll talk about this later after the show, but, you know, people are complaining about the adverts.
Oh,
and they're like, damn it, I missed that part. But if you did miss that part, by the way, we do upload these shows on YouTube, and the YouTube channel is Skidan for Real, so that's SKIDAN, number 4, and Real. So Skidan for Real, and then you can catch our previous shows on there as well.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, we will upload the shows, like if you missed anything. You
hopefully it'll be uploaded tomorrow if the technical man is on the game, you know.
Yes.
I mean.
Yes, technical man.
Yeah.
Big up technical man.
Yeah, big up technical man still.
But yeah, we might.
Big up Mr. Lee.
Yeah, big up.
Essence Radio.
Innervibe Show.
Yeah. Who else are you gonna big up? What do you wanna call Santos back?
Big up yourselves.
Yeah,
anyway,
big up yourself.
Let's call Santo. Let's call him back.
Yeah, stop showing off.
I like that. Well, I'm not showing off. That's how it's supposed to be said.
Okay, fair
so
enough.
how's that showing off?
Okay. Calm down. Greetings.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, great.
Good,
I just
good.
had a nice drink and relax, so that was good.
Good. Right, I've got a question from Dave Hallett. He said, or he's asking, what time is the 8-minute window you mentioned?
Well, you know, I've been asked that a few times actually, and I don't know how to answer that because we have a time system which operates from Greenwich, and it's not the true right ascension of meridian at all for this planet. It's the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid was established for all time to be the true prime meridian on this planet. So you'd need to work out when the 11th minute of the 11th hour is passing over Cairo, and that would be it, I would say. And I might be wrong, but that would be the best way to point to. They say that the moment of the solstice, which is the shortest day of the year, that very moment this year is at 11 minutes past 11. That's what I've been told. So wherever the meridian is that the universe acknowledges, whether it is the Great Pyramid or somewhere in America or who knows where it is, but it will happen during that 24-hour period, for sure.
So there's the possibility that it may not be 11:11 GMT.
No, it's basically
No, Greenwich. Well, look at it this way. It's 9 a.m. in the morning, Thursday the 20th of December here, and what is it there?
It's like 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock at night,
Wednesday.
the 19th.
Yeah.
And you guys are right on the meridian, aren't you?
Yeah.
I did not know
Apparently,
that.
yeah. Apparently so.
What's the
So probably, let's see, you guys are about 2 hours after Cairo, so I would say, I don't know, you're probably 9 o'clock in the morning for you guys.
So probably like 9/11.
Yeah. Yeah.
9/11. Oh yeah. Gosh. God. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know what I'll be doing at that time anyway.
I'll be hairdressing at that time.
We'll be doing yoga, so it's all good. Yeah, Dave wants to also say thanks for all your research and bringing it out to the world for people to share with everybody. So, any more questions from any of our listeners at all? Just call in on Skype on Positive Entertainment. We'll put it in the chat box anyway, so don't be shy. Call in. Does Nisha have another question? Because I know that Nisha missed a big part of the show earlier, trying to get here. Just she wanted to hear you so badly, Santo. She's heard so much about you, so she thought she'd come along and come to the studio and chill with us.
Yeah, even though we're like basically random strangers. She's brave.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But early on, you mentioned about the crossings, and I also remembered in one of your videos you mentioned something to do with hot cross buns at Easter. Did that have something to do with the equinox crossing of the sun? Is that what you was talking about, Santo?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. That's why at Easter we have those hot cross buns, because the Christ, the risen Saviour, has crossed over the equator. Now, churchgoers will deny this. You know, they're so brain mushy, and that's ridiculous. That's pagan solar. We don't do this. We don't. They're in denial. They are just, as I said, it's mind control, and it's so sad. Of course, the hot cross buns are the buns that you eat to the Queen of Heaven because the sun has crossed over the equator. Of course it is. It's all about the solar system. The Christ Jesus, our Saviour, is the sun. It is our Saviour. Try imagining what it would be like if the sun was not there, Yeah.
You know,
That's-
you couldn't, could you,
it
really?
is- It's impossible. It is our saviour. It is everything that we stand for. It gives us life and vitality, and every cell that we have in our bodies comes from the sun, the still centered light in the center of the sun, and everything returns to it. And by the way, guys, I remembered during the break that there's a great documentary out right now, and it's called, let me see if I can get the name of it, but it's about, you may have seen it, it's about the death of Diana. Have you seen that new one?
No, I've heard about it.
I've heard about it, yeah.
Okay, it's called Uncovered Truth, The Unlawful Killing of Diana Spencer. It's just a new movie released, and it's the best one yet, and it really does absolutely categorically prove that she was killed by the Queen and Prince Philip and Prince Charles. You only have to look at them to see that they're killers. They are guilty of murder of many, many, many human beings.
Yeah, because
These people, we must hold them to account sooner rather than later. Immediately.
Because if you look at the Queen, she's always clenching her jaw as well. That's one thing I've observed about her.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, why is she
Notice.
clenching her jaw for? Like that.
Oh, you can see the particles of blood between her teeth. There's no shine or gloss to her lips or her teeth or her eyes. You can see the soulless, cold, reptilian, chilling, murderous, bloody eyes. These are foul entities, and they do have the chance to repent, but it's highly unlikely since they have no souls.
So
I mean, you can only kill if you don't have a soul.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
can't. Sorry.
Nisha's just asking, what do you think their plan is for Prince William in the future?
They can plan all they want. None of it will come to fruition. What will come to fruition is the unity of syncretism and eternal bliss.
Yeah.
And if they want to be a part of it, they're welcome. But it's highly unlikely that they will, because they love their money, they love themselves, they love their bellies, they love their sex. They are murderous pedophiles, and it's known that everywhere they ponce around on the globe, and wherever they stay, they've always got like about 6 or 7 prostitutes that visit them, and little boys, and all sorts of shenanigans go on wherever they go around the world. It's funny, they're not very secretive actually about it, and they're always getting exposed. Whenever they go to some country, like Prince Philip or William, for instance, they're always caught with, prostitutes around here and around there, and it's creepy.
Yeah. Because, like in the news recently as well, keeping on the royal subject, I'm sure you heard about that nurse that committed suicide.
Yeah.
So that to me, that sounded like a really dodgy story. It sounded like a sacrifice almost.
It's all sacrificing. There's no suicides amongst them. There's no accidents. They are all look at the last shootings in America. The young men who were killed or who were shot dead by the CIA, because there's always CIA there. Those boys, their fathers were about to bring evidence against Chase Manhattan and their $47 billion theft.
That's right.
And so what they do is they...
Okay, sorry, Santa.
Hello?
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 Hello? Santo? Santo? I think we've lost him, but we'll get him back. I think we've got a caller coming in. Is that Anthony? Anthony, I'm going to have to end the call, then I'll call you back, because I think we've lost Santo. Okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, it's Anthony.
Anthony lost him. I'm trying to take this off hold. Hello?
Into the middle of the head.
We
Pull the trigger.
We lost you, Santo. We lost you for all that time. Sorry.
Sorry.
Not sure what happened there. This is modern technology. Wow. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Sorry about
It's
that.
not my connection.
Sorry,
No.
no, it was from our end. It was me and this silly computer. Sorry. Okay. Where were we?
No, I'm sure someone just called in.
Yes, someone was calling in to ask a question, you see, and what I did was I picked up without putting it on a conference call. So what I need to do is add him on a conference call.
Yeah, add Anthony into the CAP conference
Yeah.
call.
Just bear with us. I mean, I'll sort this out.
Yeah, no, and anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, so the net. I think we left off on the NAS situation, isn't it? That was definitely the sacrifice, and then the shootings in America.
Yeah, well, both of the young men that were involved in that, or at least they've blamed these two young boys. Their fathers were about to give evidence against Chase Manhattan's $47 billion theft, and one of the fathers now is not going to give evidence.
Okay.
So there you go. It's the banksters.
Yeah. We've also got Anthony on the line. I think Anthony, are you there?
Hello, guys.
Hi,
Anthony. Anthony would like to ask Santo a question.
Yeah, I was just looking at this question. I mean, I heard you speaking about the world rebirthing into positive change and everything, and you've obviously done a lot of research. So I was wondering if you had any thoughts about what ideas the oppressors of the world might have. There's been like many sort of blatant statements put out in Council on Foreign Relations, like George Bush saying there needs to be like mass extinction and things like that. So I'm just wondering if you've done any research into that area and you have any ideas of what these oppressors counter with, if there's something so good's going to be coming and we're going to rise up and be able to take back the world for ourselves. So that's my question.
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of research into this, and all of these think tanks, they can think all they want. The global warming originated from the Club of Rome in the late 80s. They devised this because they needed a new Cold War. You see, we always need something to be in fear of. So they invented this global warming, and it's your fault because you're burping and farting too much. So we have to... we need to... humans are a parasite and they're causing global warming. So let's eliminate, 6 or 7 billion of them. They can think all...
sort of like a winter, some sort of like cold age coming in the 70s. There was this fear of like a big cold, like ice age coming or something. And just a mini cold ice. Yeah, quite possibly. That could occur because there's magnetic pole shift going on. There's a lot of weird and strange things going on the planet. But when you look at the true science, when you look at the prophecies, which are true science, because they understand the cycles better than these think tanks. Yeah.
And of course, they never really... When these think tanks come out of their meetings and publish their findings, they're never really it's never something positive. Notice that? It's always some disaster or some shortage. Water's short now, we're going to charge you for the water. Next is air, carbon tax. And guess what? In this country, they're already charging carbon tax for air, basically. So these are murderous entities that we need to ignore. We've given them too much life. Yeah. If a bully at school comes around and says, you need to give me half of your lunch at lunchtime, and if you turn up every lunchtime and you give him half, and everybody gives this fat bully a little bit of their lunch because he's too lazy to make his own lunch, well, then everybody's in fear of him and everybody's going to obey this bully.
Yeah.
But if everybody turns around and says, hey, hang on, there's 100 of us and there's one fat bully. Guess what, bully? You can go to hell. And then what'll happen then is that bully will change his way. He'll have to make his own lunch, and everybody will be happy. So these think tanks that think they're going to do this and think they're going to do that, and we say, oh, no, you're not. You're just a bunch of idiots. We don't hear you. Then they will disappear. And we are the ones that are making them appear. We are the ones that are giving them life and breath.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Oh, thanks. Thanks for that.
Thanks for calling in, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony.
Cheers, guys.
Okay.
Actually, I'll be listening.
All right.
Okay.
We'll catch up soon.
Yeah, as the scriptures say, their ways will come to naught. And one scripture that I used to love very much says that the day will come when you will look for the wicked one and you will not find his place. We will look for them one day. We'll say, where are they? Hey, where are those? Where are those think tanks and all those? They're not here.
Yeah,
they're
disappeared.
They're gone. They're gone. And that will take place.
Hopefully on the 22nd.
Yeah. I think Santos, we'll have to have you on the show again.
There's so much we can.
Yeah, there's so much more that we can delve into,
yeah.
definitely. And this was a good introductory sort of show into like what Santos Bonacci is about.
Because you do a lot on the law side of things, maritime law and common law as well. Is that right, Santa?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I do that too.
Yeah, I'd like to learn a bit more about. I'd like to learn a lot more about common law.
I don't really know so much.
Yeah, and we've got one more. We've got one question.
Another question for me? Yeah, sure.
Hi Santos again. Just wanted to ask regarding America and when do you think there's going to be a financial collapse with the dollar, and if so, when, and what kind of repercussions do you think that would have around the world, and what kind of plan do you think they have to replace, say, the dollar?
Yeah. Well, see, the dollar and money, these fiat currencies, they don't really exist. They are worthless, and what really exists is our energy, which is true currency. So because we underwrite it and we put credence in this fiat currency, and it's a system that is in place, therefore, those bits of paper, they get to live. They get to have life, because we put them in our pockets and we exchange them for energy, you see. But once we become self-determined and conscious, we will see those pieces of paper for what they really are. We can continue to use them. All we have to do is eliminate the bankers, which will happen, and then we can get our treasuries, which are all shut down, by the way. In Australia, we have a treasury. It doesn't print. It's the bankers that print the money. So we can transition in 24 hours from fiat currency to a system whereby we just use those little bits of paper to symbolise units of our energy. Because the only true currency that exists is the love in our hearts. If I say to you, brother, I'll build you a shed if you can play your music at my wedding, because you're a musician and I'm a builder.
Yeah.
Right? So this is how the community, we get to know what everybody offers. And I go to the potato farm and I say, listen, I've got chicken eggs for you. And can you give me some potatoes so I can make an omelette? Because it's very boring, just eggs in an omelette. I want some potatoes in my tortilla. Now, so yes, it will fall, and no, it won't create havoc on the planet, because we will always have our own currency in the first place.
Yeah.
It will default back to our hearts and our word, which is the only true currency. And when you look at money, you know how terrible of a thing it has been. Some people have been killed for $100. Some people have been killed for $2, $5,
Yeah.
1,000, 100,000. It's what it is it's something that is prized that does not deserve to be prized, that people will hurt you to get it.
Yeah.
But if we eliminate the power that it has, immediately killing will cease on this planet. Because I'm not going to kill you for your currency, because if I kill you and you're a potato farmer, then I'm not going to have potatoes.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see? So there won't be death anymore, because we won't need some artificial currency to steal off people because we're too lazy to work for it or whatever.
Yeah.
But we will respect one another, and we will look for each other's contribution into the community, and we will all be contributing with our currency. That's the way it always was on this planet. That's the way it is elsewhere in the universe, and that's what's coming back to this beautiful place where we live. Yeah, we're going to default back to true currency, which is what it is always anyway. That's why our system has enslaved us, and through our birth certificates we have become chattel, because really our energy and our life is the only true currency there is, and that's why the banksters have set up this system, so that they can get us to work for them all their lives and contribute to them rather than to us. They've stolen our strength and our work and our energy by taxing us, and we are really the only thing that underwrites their artificial currency. So we need to underwrite our own energy and use it to transmit true currency. And we will. Because we're going to wake up to the fact that we've been stooged. And we're going to default back to the real way of living.
Thank you, Santos, for answering that question. And it's admirable that you're giving a lot of suggestions of what we can do to counteract what's going on now, as well as just operating from love rather than fear, because I think we're bombarded continuously with fear, and that's why every time we make decisions, it comes from fear. But if we just open our eyes, be reassured that everything is okay, and just operate from love, I'm sure, there'll be a lot of positive changes.
Yeah, look, you know how much love you have in your heart. You know how much desire you have for unity and beauty and good to come to this planet. I know how much I have. All the listeners know how much they have. This is what we've got. That's all we've got.
Yeah.
I don't really own the computer that I'm speaking through here. I'm just using it. I don't really own my car, my television, or whatever, my couch. Anything materially that you're using, that's just there for your use. What you own is that love in your soul. That's all we've got, and we're going to wake up to that. We're going to wake up to that here we are, we're all connected in this ocean of consciousness, and we sooner, better rather than later, ought to show love to one another, because we are only showing love to ourselves. And all of this hurting that's going on, and all of this suffering that's going on, and killing for money, like the elites, they're setting that example in this world, and many are following their example and striving after riches and corporate success and the stock market and investment portfolios and climbing the corporate ladder and keeping up with the Joneses and all of this crap. That will cease to exist once we realise that we already own everything that exists, which is our own godship.
Yeah.
For we are God, and we are everything that ever was, ever will be, and ever is.
We do have a couple more questions, don't we? David from Manchester here in England. He said he's tried. Well, bartering has been tried in the UK, and they tried to tax it. So, what are the Aboriginals up to? Have they got a date like 2012 or information that ties into this global cosmic happening? That would mean the Aboriginals down in Australia, of course.
You know what? They do, but they're very, very silent about their truth. They know that so-called white man speaks with forked tongue, as the Indians used to say over there in America. And that's not because white man is more evil or less evil than any other colour. We're all the same. We've all fallen. We all display savagery, and we've all got to stop it. We've been naughty children in this little sandbox that we live on, and we're all going to get our bottoms spanked. In fact, I'm sure that you and I and the listeners have given ourselves the required discipline that we need to evolve and grow, and so but unrepentant ones more so are going to receive some discipline in the near future, and all for the good. But the Aborigines, they're very, very cautious with Westerners, and they really, really have been served a vicious blow in this country. I mean, I remember reading books when I was a young boy about how the conquerors came to this country, and that they would play sports with the Aboriginals whereby they would bury them in the ground with only their heads popping up out of the ground, and they would play horse polo with their heads sticking up out of the ground. So you can imagine a field of, say 100 Aborigines, and they used to do this for fun, and they enjoyed it, and this was practiced. And this is a fact. I read this out of books that were written, and not once, many times. Imagine playing sports where you kill people that are supposedly, animals. Oh, those black Aborigines, they are subhuman and animals. And therefore, you've got armies of Westerners coming to these shores, killing them, thinking they're doing a good service to Jesus and God, because these are animals, these vicious savages. Yeah. And yet they were very, very cultured. And they had many, many wonderful teachings and traditions, which they still keep, but they are so afraid to share them with the rest of the world. But there's a guy called Stephen Strong in Australia here. Check out his work. He is revealing now how we have Egyptian hieroglyphs in Gosford and the Hunter Valley and in many different parts of Australia, indicating that the Egyptians came here, and the Aborigines are aware of this, and they are now talking about it. So Stephen Strong is talking about this and sharing with the world how the chiefs of the Aboriginal tribes now are starting to come out and speak about their traditions, and yes, they know what's going to happen, at least the enlightened portion of them, because most of the Aborigines now are drugged out and alcoholic, and they've lost their way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a shame.
It is a shame.
I think we've got one more. We can put one more question to Santo. It's slightly unrelated. It's from Teresa Spence in Wolverhampton, England. She asked, how did the Earth begin?
Okay.
Or does he think the Earth actually begun?
Okay, so...
Has it always been Earth?
Yeah. I'm sorry, you broke up too much. I couldn't understand that
basically
question.
someone asked, how did the Earth begin?
Oh, okay. All the planets were ejected from the rings, the oblate rings of the sun. And this is how all planets are formed. They come from the electric primaries of their star system. So our sun birthed all of the planets, and they came from the equatorial rings of the sun. And And as the sun spirals in its helical trajectory, so the planets are caught in the wake like a vortex, you see? Like a hurricane. It's the same thing, you know, like the point of the hurricane at the tip on the surface of the ground, and then it goes like a vortex outwardly. That's how our solar system is. Everything is. Every single thought wave in the universe is a vortex like this, a spiral. And in fact, the word spirit comes from spiral, because it's a spiritual reality we live in. And so the sun borns or births all of the planets. And then the planets, they also eject their moons. And this is why the planets that are closest to the sun have very slow rotations, but very fast orbits. And so what happens is all of those planets are slowly but surely moving further and further away from their primary. Our Earth once was much closer to the sun, and one day will be much further away from the sun, and the year will be much longer. For instance, when the Earth reaches the orbit of Mars, where Mars is, we will have probably, a 600-day year.
Okay.
And then, and look at Saturn. Saturn is a 29.5-year orbit. Mercury, that's close to the Sun, is only 88 days. Venus, so you can see the pattern. You can see how the closer planets to the Sun are faster in their orbit, but slower in their rotation. And then you go out, Jupiter and Saturn are spinning really fast in their rotations, but orbiting really, really slow. And our Earth will speed in its rotation. The days will get faster and faster, but the years will get slower and slower. And that's nature. That's how everything works. Nothing disobeys this law. This is the law of nature.
So what about the retrograde? What's going on at the moment? The Jupiter retrograde, because they call Jupiter the planet of thunder, innit? After Thor, is that right? Which Thursday comes from as well. Mm-hmm. And that's currently in retrograde at the moment. What effects is that having on people?
Well, the effect is retrograde in astrology is to do with repeating lessons mostly, but a retrograde means, see, when a planet is direct, it is giving you its direct energy. So you're getting undifferentiated, pure energy and vibration from that planet. But when it's retrograding, which is only because in our vortex solar system we come to certain points where it appears that they are going backwards, but they're not. They are still really direct. But this causes an interruption in the flow of that energy, and therefore the energy changes. And so rather than Jupiter's energy, which is beneficent and benevolent and fattening and beautiful and rich, that energy now will be distorted. So it's like, all right, I'm a musician, and sometimes when I play really well, and I think, wow, that was good. I played that song so well. But another day, I'll play the song, and it's like, I'm playing like a beginner. And I'm scratching my head, and I'm embarrassed to be playing in public, and that's because the energy is distorted. Well, that all results from planetary alignments, and Jupiter now is giving us a portion of his beautiful energy. And it's not the same quality. It's a different quality, but it will have a meaning. It will have, it will have a spiritual and a physical meaning for us. It will change the nature of its goodness, and you have to consider the retrograde in relation to all the other planets too, and to find out its true meaning. So it's a simple and yet very meticulous and complicated science sometimes. But if you study the basics and the fundamentals of astrology, you will get an idea of what it means. You know, you will be able to intuit what it means, because there's a lot of art that goes to it too. It's not just left-brained analytical stuff.
Yeah.
There's also, it's just like when I play the guitar. You know, I mean, I can play a piece one way one day, and the same piece I'll play with a different artistic bent another day. So they're never the same, and all retrogrades, you know, have a meaning, but the meaning is not always the same. You have to be a discerning astrologer to see what the other connections with the other planets are, to discern its meaning.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. So like if someone his ruling planet is Jupiter, because it's Pisces, isn't it? Is it Pisces? Yeah, that's right. Would they experience sort of like a turbulent time at the moment?
Yeah, they would. They would. Now, I've got Jupiter in Pisces, so that's Jupiter's natural home, which is 5 points in astrology. Beautiful 5 points to have. If you've got a planet in its natural home, you have a great blessing. So Jupiter is well aspected in my chart, and it's in Pisces together with Mercury. They are conjoining, or it's a conjunction, a marriage. So Jupiter, which represents, you know, all the Jupiterian things, Jupiter is beneficent, he is rational, he is the god of reason and all of those things. He is connected with the god of intellect, Mercury, and Mercury is well aspected in my chart in Pisces too. Now, since Jupiter is retrograding, that will affect me to that extent that whatever Jupiter meant in Pisces for me. So I have to look at my chart and see what Jupiter in Pisces means, and all of the other aspects that he has. It's very complicated sometimes, because this is why there is no two people alike on the planet. Yeah, you see? Because Jupiter in my chart is different to Jupiter in your chart. You might have a badly aspected Jupiter, and this retrograde might have more an effect on you because of the bad aspect in your chart.
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody, but then again, it generally, this is why astrologers come out with a general meaning for what Jupiter means in the retrograde. So they will give you a general interpretation of what it's going to mean for everybody.
Okay.
So they will say, look, Jupiter is retrograding right now, and it means this, this, and this. And that will be general. Okay? And that is all in harmony with the science. That is all good. And this is why people poo-poo astrology, because they see a horoscope, for instance, or they see some astrological explanation of what a retrograde means. It doesn't apply to them as much as to others, and so they write it off. But they shouldn't write it off, because there's more to it than just that. They've got to have knowledge of their own chart, and this is the very, very sad thing that has happened on this planet. Rome and the institutions have taught us that it's hocus pocus, pseudoscience, therefore you don't need to know it, and you've got 99% of the Earth's population that don't know anything about their own charts. Therefore, they don't know who they are. And the philosopher's saying is, man, know thyself. And the best way to know yourself is to know your chart.
And I would recommend everybody to go and actually watch your I keep saying documentary, your lecture on Know Thyself, which is actually called Know Thyself.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, there's another proverb, as above, so below.
Yeah, so everything that's happening in the stars is happening within us.
I think... Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, everything. What is happening out in the world, the turmoil out in the world today, is exactly the same turmoil that's in you. You see, right now, we're speaking on the radio, so we're very professional. We're very sweet. And we're at our best, aren't we?
I'm not sure about that.
But if you watch yourself, if you were a fly on the wall and you watched yourself daily, you would see where, you know, you curse and cuss and where you fall over and, you know, and where you doubt and where you have fear and where you get angry and where you get depressed. Yeah. And the day's going up and down, up and down, up and down. So we are also like the solar system and like the secular world. In the secular world, beautiful things are happening. Wonderful things are happening everywhere you look. And then change channel on the TV and you listen to the news, and there's also bad things that are happening. Yeah. So the world is just like you. You are suffering, and yet you are having bliss. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, what's coming now, the change that is coming is this, that we will have only bliss. Mm-hmm. You know, we are headed toward a unity world. It's not dualistic, where we have a bit of this and a bit of that. Mm-hmm. We will have only one thing, and this is the good that we can look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Indeed.
I think we have one more question.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then,
Hi, Santos. Just going back to the astrology, if anybody wanted to study their birth chart and have a better understanding of all the planets that are going through our chart, what's the most accurate? Because obviously I've looked at mine, and the Vedic astrology is a lot different to the Western astrology because of the time differences or how they calculate the time. So what would you say would be the most accurate?
Okay, well, they're all accurate. I'm teaching tropical Western astrology. Tropical means that the zodiac is based on the cardinal tropical points. So the equinoxes. So on March the 21st, Aries begins because that's the equinox. And it introduces Aries. And that's the Western system from Egypt. It's tropical. The Vedic system is sidereal, which means that they follow the stars upstairs rather than the cardinal points down here. So we say that the sun is in Sagittarius right now, but they say that the sun... they say that the sun is in... Is it Capricorn now? Yeah, or Aquarius.
Is it Sagittarius? Going into Sagittarius, is it, or something?
I think it's Sagittarius.
Well, no, in tropical Western astrology, we say that the sun is in Sagittarius because it's the 19th of December. That's Sagittarius. Yeah. Sagittarius ends on the 21st, on the solstice. Right. Okay, so but really, if you look upstairs in the sun at the sun, when you look up at the sun, you will notice that the sun is not in Sagittarius at all, if you know the skies. So you look up, and if you've got an iPhone application which has a celestial star viewing application, I've got two, in fact. What you'll notice is the sun is really in Scorpio.
Okay.
Right. So the Vedic astrology will teach you that if you're born on, say, today, the 19th of December, you are, in fact, Scorpio. You are not Sagittarian. And this is also correct. But the reason it's correct is that because one is addressing our astral nature, and the other one is addressing our, let's say, our etheric and our body and our temporal nature. You see? So you can use both systems.
Okay.
But it's probably best to stick to one system, you know, and then you will have more fun with it, I think, and you'll have more depth of understanding. And the Western tropical system is perfect It doesn't need any other systems to enhance it, to embellish it. This idea of 13 signs, I believe that the 13 sign zodiac is more to do with lunar astrology rather than solar.
Okay.
The sun is always expressed as 12, and the moon is all about 13.
Right. Is that's the
Yeah.
Ophiuchus, is it? Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus.
Yeah, Ophiuchus.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, the sun is right now on the foot of Ophiuchus.
Okay.
So it really is in the sign of Ophiuchus right now. And it will physically enter the sign of Sagittarius in about 3 days.
Yeah.
So there's about 30 days or 30 degrees of slippage. And in 2,000 years, there will be 60 degrees of slippage. In 4,000 years, there will be 60 degrees of slippage, or 60 days of slippage, until it goes all the way back around and starts again. Okay. But the Egyptians did not necessarily pay too much attention to this slippage, nor did the Babylonians. So their system is tropical. And it works, it is 100% accurate, and you don't need any other system, but you can go ahead and operate any other system because they work. I do Vedic astrology too. I don't teach it, but I do it for myself. I've got Indian friends who have done my chart and everything, and it's pretty accurate and it's pretty good. But it applies to another aspect of me. Mm-hmm. It's more an astral aspect of me that it applies to. It's not the 80% of what I am. It's more addressing the 20% of what I am. I don't know whether I've explained myself well here. It's very difficult to explain it, but sure, go ahead and study, the Mayan astrology, the Vedic, the Chinese. They're all good. They're all accurate. They're just different languages expressing the same thing. It's like if I could give the best advice to people about religion, I would say this. Be a Christian on Sunday. Be a Jew on Saturday. Be a Muslim on Friday. Be a Hindu on Thursday. Be a Buddhist on Wednesday. Because Wednesday is Buddha's day. Mm-hmm. It's Mercury. Mm-hmm. Mercury is Hermes. So be a Hermetist on Wednesday. Yeah. And then be a Hindu on Thursday, because Hindu is the day of Thor. And the Muslims are all about Friday, Venus, the green flag, the crest of Venus on their flag. They are Venetian. It's all Venetian. We can hop from church to church. They're all beautiful expressions. They're just different languages of music. It's like today I'm gonna play jazz on my playlist. Tomorrow I want to do American Delta blues. On Wednesday I'm going to play Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones. You don't have a playlist where you play Stairway to Heaven and then Bach. You don't. You can if you want. That's fun too. But normally you have a playlist with all blues, right? And you don't corrupt your playlists. Well, that's what the religions are all about. They're not meant to separate us. They're meant for us to taste a little bit of this and then taste a little bit of that. The Islamic way is a beautiful way. It's the way of peace. It's the way. The Christian way is a beautiful science. I've explained how beautiful it is in my lectures and presentations. It's an exquisite science. It's about biochemistry. It's about how we can raise the Christ. The Jewish Kabbalistic and the Tarot, and these are all other paths, and they are all worthy of our attention.
That's right.
But we shouldn't, oppose the others because we are better at one.
Yeah.
I mean, I speak Italian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, English. I don't say, Italian's the best language, or Spanish is a pseudo language, or I don't believe in one over the other. I don't say I believe in Spanish more than Portuguese.
Yeah.
No, I know the languages. Therefore, I speak them because I know them. I don't believe in them. You know, and I speak Spanish one day to my Spanish friends. Then I go to another group of Italians and I speak Italian. And I don't hate Spanish when I'm speaking Italian. I don't laugh at Spanish and say to my Italian friends, "Oh, Spanish, what a crocker. What a horrible language. I'm Italian. I speak Italian." No, I'm just speaking Italian at this moment. And so this is how we should see diversity, as unity.
And that this is a problem within religion or religious people themselves, isn't it? That they don't look at other religions as a different aspect of the whole. And if they could start to look at it from that perspective, I think, we'll come some way towards unity.
Yeah.
And we will. We will have Islam forever. We will have Christianity forever. We will have all these sciences because they are pure science.
Yeah.
They are not corporate, monotheistic, hierarchical, patriarchal monstrosities as the corporations have manufactured them to be.
Yeah, that's right.
They're sciences. They are philosophical sciences.
Yeah.
And they are true science. Any Muslim will tell you that the Quran is a scientific book.
That's right, yeah.
They will tell you that, and it is. And I've proven that in my presentation, Syncretism. I've proven that it's all based on astrology and the beautiful science of astrotheology.
Yeah.
So it's exquisite.
Even the Bible, isn't it? I mean, because doesn't it translate to being the sun papers, the whole of the Bible?
Yeah, the Bible's got the best science in it that you'll ever find anywhere. It's beautiful science.
Okay. Well, yes, we're coming up to nearly 3 hours of the show. Wow, it's gone so quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're going to have you back again, Santa. We have to close out very shortly. It's been a blessing. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for waking up early for us.
Yep, no worries. And anytime you want me, I'll be on.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Right, well, what's the weather like down there anyway? Yeah, I have to. I want to feel some of that warmth,
Pretty good. It's not the best because the reason I say that is because it's not the typical summer. It's not the typical Sagittarian summer that I know, that I grew up in. The last 2 years, summer has been a mixture of 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah.
And today is no exception. There's clouds, there's wind, it's cold, it rained overnight. It's not summer at all. It's something else.
Well, I'd certainly swap it for what we've got here right now. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Santa.
Santa, for your time, for getting up early, as Rosalind Blue said, and hopefully, we'll definitely link up again.
Get you on
in the new year, when we're all at that place of bliss.
Yeah.
I'm already there anyway, but I mean, for everybody else to come and join us in this space. Yeah. So thank you very much, Santo.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All the best, and all the best to your listeners. Have a happy shift.
Thank you.
See you next year.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. Okay.
Sure.
Bless you.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
And that's coming to the end of another great show.
Yeah, so I hope all your questions have been answered.
No, they haven't been, but we can get Santos back on their show again.
Well, especially for the 21st of December, because
definitely,
that's like in 1.5 days' time, UK, and tomorrow Australia, isn't it? So it's very interesting times we're in right now, and it's important for people not to panic, to be calm,
of course,
be still, and know that
and just
you are God.
And
as it says in the Bible, it even says it in the Bible, doesn't it? Be still and know that I am God, and just breathe. That's what we'll be doing anyway. We'll be doing our yoga. So if anyone in Leicester wants to join us for our winter solstice yoga on Friday morning, just shout me a holler. And wherever you are, just breathe, as Santos said.
Breathe.
Just breathe. Do your breathing exercises, meditate, just be at peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Be at peace.
So on Sunday, who do we have on the show?
Sunday, who do we have on the show?
Is it Lennon on?
Yes, our friend Lennon.
Yes, so tune in on Sunday, 7 till 9.
7 till 9, yeah, the usual time.
Okay, usual time. We'll be having Lennon Honor on our show again.
And next Wednesday we go down under again.
And we'll have,
We've got D Smith and Danny Whitten. Well, Danny Whitten's from the States.
Yes.
We'll be getting D up nice and early.
Yes. Okay, brilliant. So I think on Sunday we're going to be discussing transhumanism.
Transhumanism, yes.
With Lennon Honor. So how basically technology is merging with humanity, really. And we're all becoming robots. Transhumanism's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah.
So.
Check out his documentary, The Borg Agenda.
Yeah.
And also, I should mention Santos' website and what's his website again? Kevin?
Mr. Astrotheology.
Mr. Astrotheology. That's his YouTube link. We'll put all the links anyway on the description of the video. And so check him out. Check out his documentaries, Know Thyself, Syncretism. And there's a few other ones he's got as well. So check them all out on his YouTube channel, Mr. Astro Theology.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go to a short break and come back and say ciao as usual. Okay? A nice music break again.
Yes.
Yo, back with that new to tell you where I come from. Sing a song so I could never be unsung. They think I'm on some being fair weather. It's just my unsum. But don't care whether you shake your tail feathers or your pom-poms. Razor sharp, nigga, bong bong. It's a bad time to be an MC if you ain't rhyming right. I spit that China white, nigga, call it Hong Kong. Hit the city to see one of my schoolmates. Making 6 figures, but she still got a roommate. Just to have a downtown apartment and some outfits. And you asking why I never leave the South? Shit. Take some time to dream. Peace of mind's a delightful thing. This is the life of kings.
And we got it.
Yes, sir. Hey.
Yo, people be confused how I move with the utmost respect, and yet I get my due. And true, I got nothing to prove, could be my new objective, but let's not object to truth. On days like these, I count my blessings and say my dreams out loud when I wake up. The voice up inside of my head telling Ev, let's get on the day and out of this bed. Kiss my mother, gave my daughter a pound. Then she hugged me, then she turned around. In my time, the life of a king is undefinable. The closest we might get is pressed up to the vinyl though. Shit, take some time to dream. Peace of mind's a delightful thing. This is the life of kings.
Big Chris. Now some consider me a tyrant, cause I'd rather push chariots dodging them sirens. Trump beating like violence, searching for me a vibrant thing. More concerned with what books I read than what side I claim. Got a vision to be veteran, with a future brighter than a writer deciphering light by Thomas Edison. Plus you remind me of a derelict, relishing on relishments. Too busy throwing rocks at my throne to find a cheddar sip. I'm the type of king you probably see Coretta with. Country bred, country raised and intelligent. Rosebud lifestyle and yours is peddlers. The hand of God and mine you shouldn't meddle with. My reign's benevolent. Ever since I fell out the womb, I was destined to conquer melodies. So take some time to dream. Peace of mind's a delightful thing. This is the life of kings.
Big Crit. EV.
This is the life of kings.
And This is the life of kings. Feel good. Feel like oxtails from Lee's Kitchen, nigga. Yeah.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss. Oh, heaven,
how could I forget you? Rose to the occasion, one day plucking petals. Stole something precious, should have been the way I left you. But no matter what's changed, sustain, be the best you. The rest grew restless as cousins sleep. Wanted peace, but the search wasn't deep. I invested my week to see a brighter Monday morn, but woke up on Tuesday in the same uniform. And through it all, I tried not to do you wrong, as I have in the past, rapping other love songs. But it's kinda hard building less when your trust gone. Money was the object of effect, they ain't want John. Should've gone with my first love. Maybe moved out to Vigo and wrote books in cursive. Learned a little French and do the film I've been trying to make, and translate the feeling I was feeling in my modern day. Took a break with the whiz, gave the rhymes a break. Busted hard enough to make the break. No seeds, no sticks, no stems. Old gems found crumbled by the bubble boosted Timbs. I can hear the hymns in the choir from the pews where mom sat listening to Sunday's blues and the stuffed penny loaves that I stuffed a nickel into. All white Easter suit that won't fit you. Sent through heaven to hell to sell dreams of places once dwelled, but I fell for the green stuff. Swore I could fly back and say hi again, but my money was no good. I needed time to spend. Brought me back to my youth when I was grinding with no loot. Book full of rhymes with the gold tooth, with the scripture engraved, or a picture of the days when I dreamt to be a richer. Liquor pours from the picture to the glass house, built for lookers to remember the soul that once remembered. Gone, gotta find it in her, and we happily concur. Ever after one blur, merry match in one word, love. Found crumbled in notebooks you never saw, but little thoughts and yada yada. Traumatized mind, traumatized by falling off in the water, which is softer than the ground level. Found holding souls of daisy without petals. Like how special, all heaven, how could I forget you? A dedication to the muses. All it once was inspires the music. Time goes by, yeah. A dedication to the music. A dedication to the music. To the music. Music. Yeah. Music. Sent from the heavens. Yeah.
The Innervibe Show on Essence Radio. This is Yas Alexander. Thanks,
So, for the review, I think that's a wrap for today.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people, be sure to tune in on Sunday with Lennon Honor, and then on Wednesday with Dee Smith and Danny Whitten.
That's right. Yeah.
So also people check out, for those who want to check out previous shows or this show that we've had today, go on YouTube, Skidan for Real, SKIDAN 4 real. And there's like tons of videos there now, uploaded of previous shows.
Mm-hmm.
Some great knowledge out there for you all. And yeah, I just want to say big up all the listeners.
Mm-hmm. And for Friday, in 1.5 days' time,
breathe.
Yeah, just breathe and
breathe. People.
Happy solstice.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to class me as a pagan, then fine. Do you know what I mean? But it's an important time, and we should embrace it with love and peace.
As we should always.
As we should every day. Yeah. Every day, definitely. Yeah. So thank you all for listening in this evening, and hope to see you again on Sunday the 23rd, 2 days after the solstice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be discussing transhumanism.
Are we?
Yeah. I like that.
I do too.
Okay. Alright, then I'm going to go now because I'm kind of tired now.
Okay.
It's bedtime, innit?
Oh, bless you. Bless your cotton socks. Alright then, family. So we'll see you again over the weekend. Happy solstice.
Bye, Hotep.
Bye.
Hotep.
Yeah.
see the big picture. It's clear to me now more than ever. I sit with a calm spirit. These boulders I'm holding are now feathers. This is my life of profitable beats. My thoughts are now in sync with the stars I realign. With these balls I redefine a 16. I.e. play on them C's, I am that 16. I am that kick in the snare, prepare a pristine picture, I swear, something like Angela. Either artist, no artist can hold a candle to. Mind close to the cosmos I travel to. Go to war with the stars I'm trekking. I am Picard and Luke together, beat my sky walk. Walk. Live from Cloud 9, who they down for? Tell them act coach, yeah. Who they down for? Yeah. Live from Cloud 9, act coach, yeah. Who they down for? Act coach. Live from Cloud 9. Tell me, how big is your world? Scoping a snow globe. Shook up, they put up with views, touching my palms. 23rd songs, original bars. Spar with the prongs of a devil's pitchfork, attempt to draw my own conclusion. It's art, the broad stroke of a quote. I'm touching everybody, give them hope. So give me rope, double dutch, and most choke. Plus they wanna hang and what a nuisance. Plus a nuisance just too much. It's strange how I strangle them. Loop it up the math of a drum pattern. Arranging them, it's kindred to my brain. It's keeping me in line while I iron out the wrinkles. I'm bringing them more just to intrigue you. Ha, it's my Van Gogh here while I give it to you here. So you hear what I'm saying? What I gave them was a piece of me. So piece me back together, please. It's me and E live from Cloud 9. What they down for? Tell them act. Please. Who they down for? Yeah. Live from Cloud 9. Act close, yeah. Who they down for? Act close. Live from Cloud 9.
The forecast for Durham Raleigh now, considerable cloudiness and turning colder tonight with a predicted low of 33 degrees. Tomorrow,